Hello, this is Robert Hollis again. This video is really simply called Just Say No. There's so many areas that I can go on and talk about this. When you first make a decision, and you make a decision that you want one or more areas of your life to change, you can't change what you don't acknowledge, okay? So the first thing you want to do is take personal inventory of every area of your life. You know, your spiritual, your social, how you get along with people, your community, what you give to charity, your physical and your financial. And what you want to do is take personal inventory and be honest with yourself. What are you dissatisfied with? What are you dissatisfied with? And then what you want to do is, again, you have to admit to yourself that you have something wrong. Now, the next thing is to make a decision. Make a decision to actually, and a commitment to say, I'm going to change it. Next step, very simple, is go out there and find a mentor. Find a mentor that has done it, that you love their story, and by hearing their story, they're documented. Documentation really simply means is they have success stories of people that you can talk to that they've actually helped in that area. Last, say no. What I mean by saying no is once you make that decision and commitment with that mentor, Steve Jobs said it best. They asked him what his number one key to success. And he said, say 2,000 no's. See, right now we live in a world where there's so much information. See, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential. Action is power. You know what I mean? You got to take that knowledge and put it into action. And so there's so many people out there right now, ladies and gentlemen, that we get ADD. Always dealing with distractions. And we just get bombarded, man. We just get bombarded by, oh, take a look at this, take a look at this, now this one, and advertising, and all the time that we spend on the internet. You see all these people that are, check this out, $10 million in 2 seconds, and it's the next shiny thing. Look at this shiny thing. And what we do is we got to learn, once we find something that is documented, we find a mentor. If that mentor is involved in some kind of marketing company, traditional marketing, affiliate, online marketing, network marketing, once you find that mentor in that arena, if other people are making money with that company, with that product, with that comp plan, and they're willing to teach you how, you got to master the skills. You got to learn from a mentor. You got to say no. No. So someone, hey, look at this. No, no. And there's these people out there, man, that do not know how to say no. So you got to say no. You got to say, listen, I'm putting everything aside. I'm going to learn. Now, guess what? I think that becoming an entrepreneur sometimes in the home-based business arena should cost a lot more money. Let me explain to you. Think about, you finally do the same thing. We already covered the first thing. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. The second thing that you do is that you say, all right, I want to change this area. Let's say that it's finances. You then go out and you decide to buy a franchise. Now, after you bought the franchise, you pick the franchise that you want and you lay down that $10, $20, $50, $100,000, $250,000, $1 million. Guess what? Why do you say no to everything from that point on? Because there's so much skin in the game. You have so much money in the game. If someone called you a day after you made a commitment to your Subway sandwich shop and said, hey, you should look at Burger King, you should look at Arby's. No, thank you. Forget it. So understand that you gotta focus. Where God gave us, a certain amount of energy, and it needs to be focused in one arena for us to be successful. So if you bought a Starbucks, I guess what? You'd show up in the morning. You'd be there, the first person there. You'd be the last person leaving. You know what I mean? So understand that that's the kind of focus you gotta have. You gotta learn to say no. You gotta learn to say no. Another thing to saying no is a little more personal. When you say you're going to be successful, you got to start saying no to things that are distraction, bad or good. You got to start saying no to things that you used to do that just took up time, that are not fulfilling your dream and your vision. So when I first got involved, and I know some people are going to not want to hear this, but I said no to TV. I said no to sports. I used to love sports, man. Knew all the stats about basketball, football, NASCAR. Guess what? I said no to them. And I said yes to my future. I said yes to my future. I said yes to personal development. I said yes to investing in me. And that's what you got to do. Another thing is slot time away to master your skills. If you get in martial arts and they say, listen, every Tuesday night, you got to come to the studio for 2 hours. You want to get your black belt. What if someone calls you up and says, hey, we should go to a movie on Tuesday night? No, martial arts night. So now you got to learn to say no to all those people out there that want to distract you and pull you away from the thing that you want to do. Here's what I promise you. You focus for a couple of years, you master the skills, you say no 2,000 times, and you start making money, you're going to have time to do all the things you love to do with all the time, the freedom with the people that you love. Learn to say no. Learn to say no is very, very, very important. And I could go, well, let me go into one more no. You know, once you get focused on building a group, so you're finding a way to build this list. As you build this list, guess what? That's important. And you want to be able to serve them and value them, you know, and give them value so they know, like, and trust you. Well, if there's certain times that you're doing that, those times are the times. Just like the studio I told you about. So you got to be, martial arts. So you want to be able to focus and learn how to say no to all these distractions so that you can focus. Say no sometimes to you goofing off. So anyway, I could do this forever. I hope you got the point. I know that it's worth it. You know, one day people say, well, I love NASCAR. You know, I love whatever. Well, guess what? One day you get to go to a pro game. One day you got front row seats. One day you're taking the family and the people that you love that you used to do that with. And guess what? You're meeting the players. You're meeting the owners because you said no for a while. Learn to say no. Take care. God bless. Wishing you a wonderful journey and massive success and happiness. Bye-bye.